So Susie Wiles going in. Who do you think will be next, or what job do you think might be filled next?
Secretary of State will be up there along with Attorney General and obviously Treasury Department, Secretary of the Treasury, because these are the top jobs for Donald Trump based on his mandate. Also DHS Secretary, obviously he wants to conduct one of the largest deportations of all time. But yeah, I mean, these are the top jobs. People have been lobbying for them for the past few years, either directly to Trump on TV, through fundraising. A lot of the people around him are his friends, through think tanks like America First Action. So yeah, there's a whole crew of people around Trump, and while there are a ton of loyalists, and I think Trump is placing a bigger premium on loyalists this time around than maybe central casting or other factors, I do think at the end of the day we might see a few dark horses, and they just might be bigger name brands, especially when it comes to the economy. Like if someone like a Jamie Dimon or Steve Schwarzman raised their hand, one of these titans of industry in Wall Street, I could see Trump skipping over some people that he has already had around him, like Bob Lighthouser, for someone like that, just because it would give him a sense of power over, the biggest names in the industry. And it would be a signal to Wall Street as well that he's friendly.
In the foreign policy realm, what are some of the names being bandied about?
I mean, you have Bob Haggerty. He's a senator. He was the ambassador to Japan, and he spent a long time coming up with papers, traveling on the plane with Donald Trump. He's really gotten to become friends with him throughout the campaign, and that's a really big part of it for Donald Trump. So I could see Bob Haggerty. Senator Marco Rubio is a client of Susie Wiles, or was a client of Susie Wiles. He's from South Florida, where Susie is from. He is seen as a neocon, though, and that sort of canceled him out in terms of running for VP. His name was up there with Doug Burgum, with J.D. Vance, and Susie pushed really hard for him. But I do think there might be some problems with the America First agenda and Marco Rubio and where he stands on a lot of issues. So he might have to not just come up against Susie Wiles, but Don Jr. And I think, this idea that Susie is going to completely block the clown show, she wasn't able to do that on the campaign.
No.
And I don't think she's going to be able to do that in the White House either. Trump likes to have a kitchen cabinet. He has a ton of people around him. All she can do is try to be savvy and maneuver within the environment that she's in. That's how she survived for so long. She's one of the longest standing top staffers around Trump, and it's mainly because she hasn't pushed back that much. She won't be your traditional gatekeeper like a chief of staff.
She may steer the clown car rather than stop the clown car.
You nailed it, John.
And who else has Donald Trump's ear, or who does have Donald Trump's ear in this selection process? Is Susie Wiles whispering in his ear about choices, the maybe Marco Rubio thing? Is it Don Jr.? Is it Steve Bannon?
Well, okay, Don Jr.'s clout with his father has gone up a lot. Originally, back in 2016, Trump sort of dismissed his political acumen. He didn't think, much of it.
Brought in Jared.
Exactly. But then he showed he really understood the base of the party, and then he started to see Don Jr.'s popularity rise. He was a very effective surrogate. Then he started to see polling that showed Don Jr. could be the future of the party, and he got a little jealous. But then Don Jr. started to kind of explain to his father how this could be a franchise and how we could keep it going, this brand, this MAGA brand, the Trump brand, and he brought in J.D. Vance. And for as much criticism as Trump got in the end, he brought him over the line with that group of voters that he was supposed to target, right? Those young, first-time, low-propensity bro voters. And so I think this win, JD, has actually just given Don Jr. some more clout, and we know where Don Jr. stands, and he stands ideologically to the right. Steve Bannon, I don't think he's going to have a lot of clout. I'm going to be honest with you right now. I know he speaks with Trump from time to time, but I think that voice that said the party is here, you need to run with the party, has been replaced by people more like JD and Don Jr., who are not as far right as Steve Bannon, but they're not that far away. I just think Steve's lost a lot of credibility with Donald Trump.
Tara Palmeri, very interesting.